Hey, and welcome to the Sounds for Serenity video series presented by Out Loud. My name is Yona and I'm from the i.am program. So we provide psychosocial support following a suicide attempt. So we work with children and young people under the age of 25 following a suicide attempt, or for only at like high risk situations or high risk of suicide. We also support young people who engage in significant forms of self-harm, and there's like a pattern around that. So the things we can support our young people with if they come to us and if they're participants in the program is that we help them with setting goals. It could be goals around, whatever they've been trying to work on, hope. It could be things like going out more often, but it also could be like talking about something that's really distressing for them, and these are the things that we can kind of discuss together in a proper support plan if they would like. We also do things like advocating for them. We are not a clinical service, we are all peer workers. So what that means is that we have lived experience with suicide or mental health, and that's kind of our approach to supporting our young people. So in this way, we kind of help them in navigating clinical and non-clinical services. We kind of also do some referrals to other services or schools or just health services in general. Some challenges that I have seen throughout my time the i.am program is that young people normally are isolated. I don't know if it's with the rise of social media or whether school has been more isolating, but there's a lot of issues around wanting to connect and having meaningful connection maybe outside of school. Also, some challenges I've noticed is navigating unsafe relationships online, and with something a little bit different with social media is first generation Australians or refugees navigating culture, identity, religion, even in a new country where the country is quite different than their environment at home, and navigating, I don't know if it's assimilation or whether having like a conversations around those differences between maybe themselves and their parents. So we notice a lot of that, and we support our young people in having those conversations and having conversations even with their families, as sometimes we also support with that to kind of increase the person's safety at home. So a misconception or a myth that has existed, I feel, for a very long time, but it's still prevalent today, is that talking about suicide will increase people's risk of attempting on having a suicide attempt. This I find very not true, because the first step to kind of increase people's safety is to ask them what's going on, how are you feeling, and increasing that, like those conversations and our skills around having conversations around suicide. It will increase their safety. I feel like people currently are very resilient, and they don't see that, they don't notice that. I feel like a lot of the times when I am talking to our young people and children, I have to always highlight the things that they've gone through, and just at this time, just the time we live in at the moment is so challenging, like in relation to isolation, for example, community. I find that very difficult to even just imagine to be in their position sometimes. So the fact that a lot of them just choose to even engage with us and work on plans and work on their goals is great. The way to contact us is to go to our website. So if you Google i.am mental health, the first result that you'll see is i.am, and it will mention New Horizons. That's the company we work for. So if you click that, you go to our website. There's also how you can refer, but our email address, if you just want the email, is iam@newhorizons.org.au. Feel free to ask us any questions on there.